Hello everyone, welcome to a new theory part, the data exchange. We have seen how devices find each other and connect. Now let's see how they talk. Here where the generic attribute profile GAT defines the rule of conversation. So remember that the GAT server, usually the peripherals, has the data, and the client, which is the central, wants to access this data. So the client at the beginning must know what services that available on the server, and that's what we called it, as we mentioned before, the service discovery part. So here in this process, the client asks the server, hey, what services, what characteristic do you have? Then the server responds, I have, for example, here a battery service with a battery level characteristic, or I have a custom sensor service with a sensor value characteristic. Only after this process is finished, now, okay, the client is able to communicate with the server. So let's see what operations are allowed or started by the client. Here we can say they are 3, maybe 4 operation. I kept it as a 3 for now. We will see later why. So the first operation initiated by the client is the read operation. Here the client sent the request, hey, I want to read this is specific characteristic, and the server responds with the value. Like, for example, you're asking what is the temperature, and the response from the server is required here. Then we have 2 types of writes, write with the response and write without response. The write with the response that the client send a request with the new data to the characteristic, and the server applies the changes and send an acknowledgement. So here is the difference. The response or the server must acknowledge that it receives the new data. The write without a response is the same. However, the server does not need to acknowledge that the server received the data. So this is the main difference between these two. So these 3 operations are initiated by the client. Let's see what the server operation can send to the client here. This is where the server can send data without being asked, but there is one condition. There is also another operation, that's why I put it here, is the subscription. Only after the client subscribe to a service, then the server is allowed to send data to that client. So here we have 2 options also after the client subscribe, either the notify or the indicate. The notify here, the server automatically push new data to the client, and the client does not acknowledge that it receives this data. Like, for example, and use alert on your phone, you read it, but you don't have to confirm that you saw it. So acknowledgement is not required. It can be used for frequent low data update, like a sensor reading. However, the indicate, it is the same. The server pushes data. However, the client must acknowledge that the client receives this data. So sending a registered letter, the post office requires a signature from you in order to confirm that you received the letter. So this is the 2 main difference between indicate and notify. Okay. Now, let's talk about the building blocks, the attribute, the UUID, the services and characteristic. I think we talked a little bit about attribute in the previous video, but in general, the attribute is the fundamental data unit. Here where the values of the characteristic are there. Every attribute has a 4 key. It has the handle, that identify this attribute. Usually it's 2 bytes. Then we have the type, UUID, that's a label that defines what kind of data this attributes hold. Then again, we have a permission, and we have the actual value here. You will see, like, for example, the battery is 95 level. I have mentioned UUID. So what is the UUID? This is universally unique identifier. This is identify what the attribute when represent, and we can you probably will see it in 2 forms, either a long form 128-bit UUID that could be a vendor specific, where a vendor want to use a custom UID. This is an example. We will see it also later. Or the one defined by the SIG, that we can see it's 16-bit. An example for that is the 180F. This is for the battery service, and the 2A19, which is the battery level. If you ask me how I know that, again, we can go to the assigned number here. We search for 0x, what was it, 18F. And 18F, you see this is the battery service. And the second one, 2A19, 0x2A19, and you see this is the battery level. So both of them are taken from the assigned number. Just to make sure that the 16-bit here, it's only one part from the longer representation. You can see here, this is the longer format, and we sometimes reference this UID only by this 2 byte here. So that's why we say, for example, 18F or 2A19, because we are only talking about this 2 part, but it has also a longer representation like this one here. Then we jump to the service. As we mentioned also before, a service is a collection of related characteristic. Most important here that you should know that each service starts with what we call it service declaration attribute. It has the same structure, handler, type, permission, value. Note that the service declaration means that everything that follow the service declaration until the next service declaration belongs to this service, to the current service. So that's what the service declaration means here. So after the service declaration, we have what's called characteristic definition. So you see now a little bit it's confusing. The characteristic definition has so each characteristic definition start with characteristic declaration. So we have another declaration, but now for the characteristic, and also it has a handle, type, permission, and value. Then we have the characteristic value with the same structure. Maybe it's easier if we look at it in this picture here. Let me make it smaller a little bit. So here we have service definition. We have the service declaration. Everything until the next service declaration belong to this service here. Then we have the characteristic definition. It starts with characteristic declaration, then characteristic value attribute. This is an optional characteristic descriptor attribute. And here in the characteristic definition, especially under the value, you will see kind of reference to this handle, to the handle of the value here where the actual value exists, and also to the UUID to the type here. Maybe a little bit confusing here, but in the lab, hopefully it will be more or clearer how this is represented. So this structure, or this what allows the client to easily communicate with the server and obtain the values from there. Okay, this is for this theory part. Next session we will jump to practical lab session. See you there. Ciao, ciao.